Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Teachers That Sparkle, the place where you can get a little tip each week to help you sparkle in that classroom and do your very, very best with your students. We are getting into the thick of December. I'm recording on Monday, December 11, and for some of you, you just have a week left until a very nice 2-week break. For some of you, you have a couple of weeks to go. However, that break is going to be here before you know it. And the exciting thing is, usually the Christmas break, in my opinion, in my experiences, really is the break where things shut down. It's even, tell you a little secret, typically a break where even superintendents really kind of say, I am off the books for this week, this couple of weeks, unless something big happens. One day I'll tell you a story about something big that happened during our Christmas break a few years back that just totally changed the trajectory of my entire time off. But that's not the story for today. Today, I want to talk to you about a well-rounded education. Now, you might be thinking, okay, girl, I am trying to just survive in the last couple of weeks before school is out for the break. This is not what I want to listen to right now. But I really want you to hear me when I talk about this, because as you are wrapping up this first semester or this first half of the school year, and you're getting to a place when you come back that it really gets to be that hot and heavy, right? Every school that I've been in, that I've worked with, that I have colleagues working in, it's all kind of the same type of atmosphere as you go back into the second semester. This is when you are kind of at that place where, okay, we've done all of the review from the year prior. We've taught the expectations. We've set all of our processes, procedures, and systems up for the building, for the classroom, for the things we do. We've developed the relationships with our students, with our families, and now we are ready to dig deep into the learning, dig deep into really doing that prep time. As I think back to being in the classroom, this was the time of year in January where I started thinking, okay, how am I going to do during the daytime interventions? How am I going to do after school tutorials? How am I going to make sure that parents are supporting me with their students to get homework done, just so that they had opportunities to practice? How was I going to start monitoring the high achievers, the average, and the low achievers so that I could start moving the needle? That's all of the things that kept going on in my mind, thinking I am starting to get to the place where it's really time to win this game. And I think what happens is we get so focused on that sometimes that we forget that we're working with children. We forget that we're spending 6 to 7 hours with little minds every single day. They hit a capacity, y'all. We want them growing and we want them learning. But one thing that I started to incorporate, and it really was because of my principal, not the one that hired me, not the first one I actually worked under, but the one that actually really mentored me and moved me up in my career. Her biggest philosophy was, we will provide our students with a well-rounded education. We will have art. We will have music. We will have physical activity. We will have recess. We will have a robust library program. And we even got to a point where we even had theater and drama for our elementary students at that school, because we wanted our students to thrive in something. Maybe academics wasn't the place that they were going to be the top student, but maybe music was, or they had some great athletic abilities, or maybe they were able to connect through leadership. We had student council. As a matter of fact, my daughter, when she was in 5th grade, she was student council president for the school. I mean, it was just something that we found to be a priority. And what we found is that it encouraged our students to be in these groups, and to be in these groups They had to do their homework. They had to keep good behavior. They had to come to school. We didn't make it to where they had to have A's on all of their work, but we did make those other important things important. Student attendance. How many of you out there right now are saying, oh my gosh, I wish I could find the cure for getting my students to come to school? It's a norm. And especially after the pandemic, I think student absences has increased tremendously. But what if you had something that connected them to some activity at the school that they knew they didn't want to miss out on? Now, as much as I possibly could going into the principalship and remembering that I also took on failing schools and there were expectations from the districts, we tried to make all of those things happen as well. As a matter of fact, when I took over my first school, still made sure that we had choir. We had a great music teacher that could do the work with our students. We had student performances during our family night events or during our PTA meetings. PE, we had two PE. I had two PE teachers, which I then moved into PE and health. And we did run club. We did a 2K, actually, a 2K in our neighborhood for our families and our students to participate in. We found these great things that kids could connect to. We had book clubs. We had so many different extracurricular activities so that kids had connections. I truly believe that that was part of why we were able to excel so quickly at that first school. At the second school I went to, I was only there for a couple of years, but we still had some of these extra things going on. As a matter of fact, the art program was a program where the teacher was fairly new and they didn't really have a lot of supplies and a lot of things. So I worked with the art teacher. We designed and got the district to create us an amazing art space with some state of the art, so to speak, decoration and decor that made kids excited about going to art. I had that team, my specials team, work together to make sure that they had exciting things for the kids to do and monitor their progress on them so that it was just as important as the academics. Y'all, finding ways to connect with kids is going to be one of your priorities that you're going to need to think about, whether your school does that or not. And being able to provide activities that are not necessarily academic curriculum is going to be key. Now, can you connect to everything? Absolutely. And as you get more experiences, and if you are already a veteran teacher, you kind of know how to make that happen. But those are the things that are going to get kids excited about coming to school. And if you are able to get them engaged in the academics and then excited about all of the extra things they get to do because they're working hard on their academics, because they're coming to school, and because they're exhibiting good behavior, you've got that kid. You've got that kid in a place where they can soar. So although it's going to get busy as we get back from Christmas break and these couple of weeks before Christmas break, even if your school is not one to really emphasize some of these other things that make kids into these great citizens as adults, find ways to do it in your classroom. Take the time to prioritize that. Connect it to your academics if you have to. And I promise you, if you reach out to me, I can help you with how to think that through. I don't have a problem doing that at all. It's stuff that I loved doing as a teacher and as a specialist, and then continued in as I got into administration. All right, y'all. Hopefully you are hanging in there, getting some good things done these last couple of weeks before school is out. But remember this, you are important. You are the leader in that classroom. You have the power to make students believe in themselves, to make students excited about learning. And if you use that power in your best way, this profession can be totally turned around into a place where everybody enjoys coming to work. And nobody has to say, oh my gosh, I'm counting down the minutes until Christmas break. All right. Once again, hopefully you got a little nugget of information from our time together today. I'm Sherry with Teachers That Sparkle, and I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you right back here for another episode next week.